I'm gonna give my first stock up to both Marcus Epps and Michael Carter
Mm-hmm.
because I think they have so far assuaged concerns about that second safety spot. Both of them have looked pretty good. I think Mukuba has looked fine too. He's been the kind of quiet that you would hope to see
Yes.
from a safety. He hasn't made any big plays, but he hasn't given up any big plays. Um, Michael Carter today was probably his worst day. And he was around the ball, but
Yeah.
he gave up 2 catches or something like that. Marcus Epps has been pretty good. I think that the urgency to find a different solution, as the Eagles did, with Anthony Harris before the 2022 season and then traded for CJ Gardner Johnson, I feel like Howie Roseman doesn't feel the same way he did that summer.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like premium draft capital used on a safety spot, if you had asked me before camp how likely it was, maybe I would have put that at like 30 or 40%. I'm much lower now. I feel like, you never say never, but this group has played well enough throughout the summer so far that you feel okay going into the season with the combination. It's not just, I like that you
Yeah.
made them a package deal because it's not just Marcus Epps. It's like Marcus Epps and Michael Carter. Between the two of them, you feel good about your secondary and the depth that you have in the secondary as well.
I think that's right.
I'm gonna go Jalix Hunt then. I thought you would
Okay.
go Jalix Hunt.
Well, I want to share the man with the world.
I appreciate that. I thought Jalix
To
Hunt.
me, the stock is only it's steady because I already expected him to be the
Yeah,
best
but
player in the NFL.
it's like, well, not to say your first pick isn't going to move the needle for the Eagles defense, but I think Jalix Hunt, the summer he's having, is one of the bigger needle moving things
Mhm.
that we've seen from the first 7 practices. He looks incredible. He looks like what the way he looked last year, but just bigger and faster and stronger. So as much as Jonathan Grenard's absence has been felt, I think that Jalix has looked like, honestly, he has looked like the type of edge rusher that you want at the top of your rotation.
Mm.
He has to prove that in game, and I think that group is better when Jonathan Grenard's out there, obviously. But Jalen Hunt's been awesome this summer. I feel like he has taken the leap we expected him to.
And it's all the more important because Grenard has not been out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you had told me that the Eagles, had somebody penciled in at the top of their edge rusher rotation, the way that Jalen Hunt has looked, it wouldn't. If I didn't know anything about the team,
Mm.
I would go, yeah, that guy looks like one of those guys, like one of the 32 that you want at the top of a rotation. Again, he's got to prove it in games, but
Yeah.
he looks awesome.
Can I just throw in
Yeah,
stock up Jalen Hurts?
yeah, he was on mine too.
I think he looks really good.
Yeah,
I do. He looks comfortable. He doesn't look hesitant. The proof will be in the pudding in terms of how much he ends up throwing the ball over the middle of the field. But he's throwing the ball over the middle of the field fine.
constantly.
He seems to have a good semblance of the offense. And what was interesting was the other day when I asked him about I was just a little curious about, he wears that helmet,
Mm-hmm.
the camera on the helmet.
Yes.
And I don't think he has worn it before. It has usually been like a tool where one of the backups has done it.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. And I just asked what the case was. Like, does he find it helpful? And he pointed to, rather than it being a good reflection of like what I'm seeing, and then we can talk about it, it's actually a good source of accountability for in the huddle
Yeah.
and making sure that everybody knows their assignments, because I have given you the play call. We can check that the play call was correct. You should know what your job is. And then that's part of why he was so, the Elijah Moore thing, where he was upset about the wrong route, but then demonstrative about the touchdown pass that followed. He is put in the time. He's the expert here. And I think I don't want to be too flowery, but I'm pretty bullish about the season that Jalen Hurts is going to have.
I am too, for a reason you haven't mentioned yet, which is the footwork that we've seen from him this summer. He looks efficient and effective with his drops. And the way that in Sean Mannion's offense, Sean Mannion laid this out where you have to listen to your feet, trust your feet, and your feet have to kind of bring you around the progression. And, that's always been a thing with Jalen, where it's like, oh, like you have to give him half field reads. He's, you want him only reading one side of the field. We have seen him work across the field on progressions way more this summer than we have in years past. And he looks efficient and comfortable doing it, which again, like, you go back to all the times you've heard, like, if you like Jalen Hurts, like he's whatever his ceiling is, he's going to hit it because he's going to work hard at it. The under center aspect of this offense, turning your back to the defense on play action fakes, and then the footwork, the importance of it in the scheme. He's really embraced all of those things, and that wasn't a given. That wasn't a guarantee. We sat in this studio questioning whether that was going to be an ideal fit. And yes, it has. We're going to see how it looks in the regular season. But in training camp, he looks comfortable and confident doing that stuff.
And you know what? It's going to, the discourse around Jalen never stops.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to be, he's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. This is probably still going to be a very run-heavy offense.
Sure.
And, there will be some easy buttons with under center play action. And people will be like, oh, well, that's just, he's in the Shanahan system. But you can't,
They'll be saying
it's going to be a little bit head spinning.
Yeah. They'll be like Jalen Hurts without play action.
I don't think that it's going to be, he's not going to put up the numbers he put up in 2022, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think the Eagles are in good hands.
I agree.
All right, give us one more stock up.
I feel like we talked about Dontavian Wicks. So, but we talked about Drew Kendall too. I'm just gonna go with Dontavian Wicks. Oh, you know what? No,
I thought you were gonna go for him. That's your guy.
I like a Dameon Pierce, but I'm gonna go with another needle mover here. I'm gonna go with Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Because obviously Jalen Carter is an excellent player. We already knew that, but there was a question as to what he would look like coming into training camp. And before training camp started, I remember saying that, like, Jalen Carter, if you're listening, like, I just want to see you like wreck a practice, or at least wreck a team session, wreck a 5-play sequence. And we have seen him do that at least like with a few plays every single day. You feel his presence. You feel like the otherworldly ability that he has to teleport a guard two gaps over, or just knife into the backfield on a run down and give them the finger wag at the end of it. So I think for that reason, like, he is a stock up player for me. If you ask me, like, which version of Jalen Carter are we going to see in 2026, the 2024 version or the 2025, I would point at the 2024 version and say that's what he's looked like in training camp.
Super chat from SS Remodeling says Darius Cooper had the best catch from Hurts of the day. ESP and others are saying he's the third best wide receiver on the team. What's the chance he gets snaps?
I think he'll be on the field. Third best is probably not the best case scenario for the Eagles. Although my former colleague, Jeff McClain, he wrote this in his practice observations, and it kills me that he wrote it because I wish I had said it myself and then I could have taken credit for it. But if Darius Cooper were if Mekhi Lemon were having the summer that Darius Cooper is having right now, people would be freaking out. People would be so excited about Mekhi Lemon. It's been a really good summer for Darius Cooper.
I think there's a chance that he gets real snaps.
I think so too.
I think the honest answer is if Mekhi Lemon is not ready for week 1, then I think Darius Cooper might be in the top 3.
Especially because we already know he can do the dirty work stuff, which is important in this offense.
Now, where does Hollywood Brown fit in there? Maybe it's not. They can have different roles.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like early down you can have Darius Cooper out there, and he are a little more multiple with him in the slot or in a condensed formation where he's going to be asked to block. And then when you have Hollywood Brown in the field, it's probably a little bit more like horizontal stretch. Can we get him in a jet motion? Can we, draw attention from the defense because he is somebody that can move around the formation? I feel like it's just horses for courses with those guys. All right, you want my stock downs?
Yes.
We talked about him a little bit before. I think Fred Johnson is probably the one that has to be number 1 here. I mean, like, I don't want to, it's not a conclusion, but he is losing a job right now in terms of he was the swing tackle. You would have gone into this summer expecting him to be the swing tackle. I was the slowest to come around to the idea that Markel Bell would really challenge him because I kept saying, like, if they're in a game, like, are they really not, are they going to trust a 3rd-round rookie that is clearly like a developmental player or a guy that's played good football for them? He's struggled enough in training camp so far that I do think that Markel Bell is probably the swing tackle in week 1. So because of that, it's been like missed assignments. It's been getting beat by Jalix Hunt a lot, one of our stock up players. He just had a really rocky camp. So, I would say he's probably the number 1 guy on my stock down.
I have a less important to the outcome of the 2026 season one. But Cole Wisniewski, I mean, you can't make the clump in the tump, my friend. And he was gone all of the spring. Came back. I practiced, I think, twice, and that was it. Got to get on the field, my man.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's not a super insightful to say that the guy who's injured is stocked down, but I don't think he's going to make the team right now.
Yeah, and he was a fun story coming in, and again, how he compared him to Reed Blankenship when he got drafted. So, or sorry, yeah, when he got
Yeah.
drafted. So, yeah, it's a disappointment.
I will also give you, I'll give you another a non-injured rookie, another 7th-round pick. Keyshawn James Newby just hasn't really
Yeah,
flashed yet.
yeah. I mean, it feels like those late day 3 edge rushers. Like you're really, I mean, if you can get one in like
That's
10.
why I gotta take Josh Weiroo, baby.
I am gonna keep trying to get players that actually are like going to play for the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Nolan Smith.
Yeah, he's on my list.
The Hinton reps were tough today. We didn't talk about this on the show, but Vic Fangio before practice earlier this week was talking about Jalix and Nolan both telling us that they had bulked up, they had added weight, and Vic, always honest, said like, yeah, like Jalix is buffed up a little bit. Nolan came in heavy and has had to lose that weight. Like he came in and we wanted him like lighter than he came into camp. So I mean, you add that with obviously the speeding incident that he had. Like it's just been a rocky offseason for Nolan. So and this is a pivotal year. So yeah, the fact that he hasn't really made an impact in camp, I think, is kind of the latest chapter in what has not been a great few months for him.
I will go with another defensive lineman. Again, it feels like we're kicking someone when they're down here, but Ty Robinson just has not moved up the depth chart at all. Has not really flashed. He doesn't look like the kind of player you thought that they were drafting. A player with impressive physical tools and who was, an older player, and so they had maybe more of an advanced pass rush plan. That's just not what we've seen at all.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like he has enough of a pass rush bag, and he's clearly not going to just win off of just being stronger and faster than the guy across from him. So, yeah, it's been a disappointing stretch for him.
Christopher is right, by the way. Keyshawn James Newby has been injured, but this is a clump in the tump situation.
And it's also cumulative. He didn't show much before he got hurt in the spring or in the summer.
I think, just thinking about Ty Robinson, do you think that defensive tackle is the place where they are most likely to add somebody?
Yeah, probably, because I feel like with the top 3 being as good as they are, like you could have Byron Young and feel fine about that.
Yeah.
You could probably also get Byron Young to the practice squad. I think they might just go light at that position. Like
we need to have a 4th.
Yeah. To me, if you're gonna add if you're gonna have a 4th, you probably are gonna add somebody. I think they could use like a Linval Joseph type, like just a
that's interesting,
nasty nose tackle that is going to spell Jordan Davis every once in a while. He's gonna play like a single digit.
Yeah, but how often there aren't that many.
Yeah. But those other 3 guys are gonna play so much, and they have such like high leverage roles. What does that room need is probably an early down guy that can just kind of spell somebody. Maybe it's not a nose tackle, but maybe it's like someone who could play like opposite Jordan Davis on an early down, and you feel like we're just going to get really good run defense here.
Yeah, it's possible. All right, you got one more?
Brings me no joy to say this. We've been talking about this guy a lot on the show in a negative light. I'm getting accused of burying this guy and saying this guy's never going to turn into anything. He might turn into something. He might develop into a very nice player, but through 7 practices, Eli Stowers has been underwhelming.
Yeah.
He has not been the mismatch generator, the outside receiving threat that we would have expected. He just doesn't move the way that we would have expected. Dallas Goedert said after practice that he feels like Eli Stowers is adjusting to the speed of the game and is starting to play faster now. And maybe, he'll have a stronger second half of camp. But so far, I just wanted to see more, specifically more juice at the top of the route, in and out of breaks. Why are you smiling at me?
It's a nice super chat about you.
Oh, well, let me finish my point before I read it, because maybe it'll get me misty. I just want to see more juice from Eli Stowers as a route runner and as a separator. Maybe that'll come, but so far,
I think the catches are coming a little bit, but even those are they're 8-yard catches. There's not a lot of explosiveness.
Yeah, and maybe as he adjusts to the speed of the game, it'll come.
SS Remodeling back with a super chat. And how about this? EJ is easily one of the best Eagles sports reporters in the city. He has only continued to get better. What a great addition. Man knows ball.
Thank you, SS Remodeling. It's very kind of you to say. There are a
Nice.
lot of really great reporters in the city. I'm sitting next to one, so that is very, very high praise. I appreciate it.
Well deserved. Happy anniversary. Happy early birthday. We love you. And with that in mind, I do have to choose violence and give you one more stock down.
Oh, on one of my guys? If you say Cam Latu, what are we talking? What are you doing? What do you mean?
When's the last time you wrote Cam Latu in your notebook?
I wrote his name down today, actually. He had a catch. He had a catch
Cam
today.
looking fine.
Cam Latu's not a training camp player either. He's not necessarily somebody that's gonna pop in practice.
Well, he's just not taking many reps.
You want him to block somebody into the bench and start a fight?
Yes.
No, he's not gonna do that. He's boys with everybody on the team.
Carson Steele is getting carries.
Carson Steele does not look good. Like, don't get me started on Carson Steele. Well, they have him in the backfield. Like, yeah, he's getting carries. Cam Latu is not stocked out. How dare you?
I think that his chances of making the team have decreased since the beginning of camp.
I don't think he's gonna make the team necessarily.
Oh, okay.
I think he's gonna be a practice squad guy that they call up because he's great on special teams and he adds a little bit of a fullback dimension. Cam Latu stocked down. That was mean spirited. You did like the biggest stretch to get that in there. You like pulled a hamstring trying to get Cam Latu into your stock down.
I think it's fair.
No, you just want to.
EJ Jenkins is getting reps.
Yeah, I like EJ Jenkins
over Cam Latu.
Yeah, but like Cam Latu was a fullback last year. Like I didn't expect him to be getting first team
fullback reps have you seen?
Yeah, not much. That. You know what? That's your argument for stock down for Cam Latu.
Yeah,
is that they are not using him as a fullback, and I think that was where his value was last year. Although he's still a good blocking tight end, and they could use one of those tight end too. I can't believe you did that. You want to hear my other stock downs? I don't have to I don't have to give a breakdown on for all these guys. Sure. Smile Mondin feels like Chance Campbell is ahead of him. Chance Campbell might be in the house, and Smile Mondin might be on the outside.
Oh, I don't know about that.
We'll see. I mean, you're right because it's like he's got the draft pedigree, but in terms of like who Vic is excited about, he's more excited about Chance Campbell right now. Keely Ringo, just because like there was a non-zero chance, probably single digits, that Keely Ringo came into camp and looked like what we wanted him to look like last year, and that has not happened. It feels like he is entering the special teams ace era of his career.
He's got a few more reps with the twos lately, and actually Mac McWilliams, who I thought had a good start to camp, has taken a bit of a step back the past few practices. So there's a little bit of a jockeying going on there.
Yeah. But like,
I don't know that I think Jonathan Jones is definitely going to make the team.
The thing is, like, they don't trust him at outside corner.
Yeah, they don't.
In a high leverage moment, they're not putting him out there. So I had Gabe Hall too. We've talked about him before. It kind of feels like that like excitement period for Gabe Hall is kind of ending. I don't really know where he goes from here.
Okay, good stuff.
I had Jeremiah Trotter Jr. my stock up, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get you to do before.
I mean, I've like you with Jalix Hunt. I feel like I've talked so much about Jeremiah Trotter Jr.